So this is going to be part 2 of continuing the videos and just how you guys can learn about hair, the facts, and just learn how to take care of your hair. So I wanted to go through all of that I said in the first video because it's very important just to know the structure of hair and how it works, and also what hair is composed of. And now it's up to you to take care of the rest of the hair, from the cuticle, the cortex, all of that good stuff, the medulla. Okay, so now let's move on to texture. What texture is your hair? Honestly, I'm gonna keep it technically simple and basic for you guys, so it'll be easier for you to kind of get the gist, so you can test your own hair at home and figure out exactly what texture you have, and also how you can take care of the texture you have. Okay, so texture is the thickness or diameter of the individual hair strand. So hair texture can be classified as coarse, medium, or fine, what I have. So you guys, to test your hair texture, what you're gonna do is take out a piece of hair. Let me do it with you. That's getting long. I feel that elasticity though. But anyways, you're gonna take out a piece of your hair. Okay, this one actually, oh, I think I broke it off too short. But anyways, you're gonna take a strand of your hair, and then you're going to feel it between your fingers like so. And if you can't really feel it, it's fine. And if it's thick and coarse, then you already know it's coarse hair. And then if it's like medium, if it's not too thick and all of that, then you have medium hair. Okay, so that's how you figure out the texture of your hair. And you want to pull it from different parts of your hair, because your head can have different textures of hair. Mine definitely does. This one I pulled kind of from the middle part. This is a little bit more on the medium side, so it's not too thick, but it's not too thin, so it's medium. And then on the sides and then the back, I have really, really fine hair. And then right here is kind of medium as well. So I have like a mixture of medium, fine, but I mainly stick to fine because majority of it is fine. So I would say pull from the crown, your temples, you guys, the front of your hairline, and then the nape. Okay, so coarse hair has a larger diameter. Medium hair, like I was explaining, has medium between coarse, and then fine is very low fine. You barely can feel it. Mine is very fine. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to density. So this is how you will know the density of hair. So you guys will know why I say I have fine, thin hair. So density, it is composed of pretty much the 2.5 square centimeters of your hair. So you can take a little piece, a square of your hair, and then you can measure that as far as density. If you don't have a lot, if you have little strands within that, then you consider you have thin hair. Okay, so you don't have a lot of it, so it's thin. And if it's a little bit thicker density square, then you have medium. And if it's a lot of more than normal, then you have thick hair. You have just a lot of thick, dense hair. Okay, so that's how you will tell the density of your hair. Yeah, you guys, I can take this little bit, and like this is like half of my hair. Look at, okay, it's not because my hair is broken out. It's not because it's just because I have thin, fine hair. Each strand is like fine, that's the texture. And then the density of my hair, I do not have a lot of hair. It's thin. When I straighten it, you guys see my straighten hair videos. If you haven't, go check it out. But if you see when I straighten my hair looks really thin, and it's just always gonna get like bone straight. But overall, my hair is healthy. And I'm going to talk more on how you know if your hair is healthy, of course, like the porosity, the elasticity, and just the scalp and the condition of your hair in general. Okay, because the scalp is also very important, you guys. Now let's move on to the porosity. This is very important, you guys. Okay, this will actually let you know if your hair is over processed, what you need to do to fix your hair if it is over processed, and what you need to stop using, and so forth and so forth. So hair porosity is the ability of the hair to absorb moisture. Okay, now I already know a lot about this. I'm gonna try not to look down as much, but I really kind of want to make sure I'm stating the facts properly, because it's been a while, you guys. But it hasn't been a while, because I do see clients and stuff, but people don't listen to you, so you kind of tend to not brush up on it so often. Okay, so hair porosity, it's actually very important for the health of your hair. So healthy hair with a compact cuticle layer is naturally resistant to being penetrated by moisture. So we already talked about the cuticle is the outermost layer of the hair shaft or the strand. So therefore, you guys, if you have a tight cuticle, that is good because it protects your hair from like the elements and just from absorbing too much moisture. But the other problem is if your hair is too tight, it's hard to get moisture in. And we do need moisture in order for our hair to be healthy and to grow, okay? It's just, everything is about a healthy balance, okay? And a lot of people with thick, coarse hair, they tend to have more resistant hair. So that means you have low porosity. Lower porosity means your hair is not able to absorb much moisture. So more likely you have dry, brittle hair. That's just the truth. And then we have hair that has average porosity. If you have normal hair, you're getting enough amount of nutrients, which your hair is probably looking pretty healthy, okay? Your hair absorbs a good amount of moisture. That means natural oils. That means just things from the elements, like if you're using conditioners, it absorbs a good amount of that. So your hair may not be overly dry or overly processed, okay? And then there's high porosity hair. High porosity means your hair absorbs everything, the elements, all the heat, all of the moisture, everything that you your hair, natural hair oils, it's absorbing that because your cuticle is kind of open, you know, it's low-key open. And I've said this plenty of times on my videos because I already know fine thin hair, you guys, does not have a medulla. Most of it does not have a medulla. So that means my hair, where it absorbs, keeps in the moisture, the cuticle is open. With high porosity hair, your cuticle stays open. I don't think mine is this open because highly porous hair also means that your hair is overly processed. It's too damaged, it's brittle, it's gonna break easily and stuff, and that's because your hair has been overly processed due to chemicals, straightening, perms, relaxers, whatever you want to call it, okay? Your hair could be damaged. My hair, on the hair that is fine and thin, we have an exception, you guys. It's just our hair tends to be a little more fragile anyways, and it's more prone to damage easier, but you can keep that up and maintain like I do personally. I believe I do a good job with that. It took me a while to get to this stage because I used to have heat damaged hair, and I stopped. I only had relaxers when I was little, but my hair when I got older, around middle school, it was like it was damaged, overly processed from straightening it to death, okay? Now I know a fine medium between being able to straighten my hair, not overly processing it, then me allowing my hair to come back to its natural state and curls, okay? So high porous hair means you are doing too much to your hair, okay? If it does not have the ability to obtain a good amount of moisture to keep your hair from being dry and brittle and breaking, then you're doing too much to your hair. So you got to get it back to balance, which means you can also check the elasticity of your hair. So elasticity is very important, you guys. Most people with curly hair, natural curly hair, have good elasticity. That means your hair will bounce back to its curls, okay, after you straighten it. If you didn't kill it and over process it, then your hair curls should pop back and be popping like mine are right now. Technically, this is second day. I just had my hair like this for a wash and go like a week ago, and it lasted for like almost 2 weeks, but I just redid it yesterday. But anyways, you guys, elasticity. To check your hair elasticity, you're gonna pull it from all different directions, your top of your head, the middle, the nape, and the crown, and you're gonna check it and wet your hair, because I know a lot of people say, oh, wet hair is more fragile. You guys, people with curly hair needs to have wet hair when checking elasticity, when combing the hair, because our elasticity is what makes our hair healthy, okay? It's just like a rubber band. If you have a rubber band and it's meant to stretch like this, think about it. It's good, and sometimes it's even more looser and elasticified when you wet it, right? But when it's dry, and if you see a rubber band in the heat and it gets all dry, when you do it, it's all dry and breaks easily and brittle and stuff. So think of our hair like that, natural curly hair like that, okay? It needs moisture, it needs that bounce back, so it needs to be wet a lot of times when we wet it, most of the time when we comb it and do all of that manipulating, okay? So you're going to take a piece of strand and you're going to hold it when it's wet, and then you're going to see if it's stretched. If it's healthy, it will stretch up to 50%. You can see my hair is about right here. I did cut it a couple months ago, but I'm telling you, it already has grown back to armpit length where it was before I cut it. And I cut about almost 2 inches off. So my hair is growing. So my hair is shrinking about 50% of its length. And it bounced back too. That's good elasticity. So that means my hair is healthy. That's how I know my hair is healthy and it's on a good path, because I understand how to take care of my hair. I understand the porosity that it has naturally is just thin and fine. So it doesn't have, it's more prone to, you know, just getting damaged easier, but I know how to take care of it. So I have good elasticity and everything. So you make sure you check your elasticity to see where your hair is. If it's not bouncing back, it's pretty damaged and overly processed. You can take care of your hair and get it back on track, and I will get to that, you guys, but make sure you check your elasticity first. Is very important. Now I'm going to talk about your hair, scalp, if it's dry, if it's oily, and all of that, because that plays a major part on how you can take care of the overall health of your hair down from the root to the hair shaft and the strands. Okay, so dry hair and scalp. If you have dry hair and scalp, a lot of people with thick, coarse hair more tend to drying hair. You want to avoid certain things, you guys. That means if you have dry hair, it means you have inactive sebaceous glands. That is the oils and the secretions that come to your scalp. Okay, so you want to avoid excessive shampooing, dry climate, the lack of natural oils, that's sebum, that's what you're lacking and stuff. So that's why your hair may appear dull, dry, and lifeless. Okay, so you want to make sure that you use moisturizers, things with moisturizers and emollients. Okay, that will keep your hair popping and lustrous, and then you're gonna need more of it. When you have thick and coarse hair, you're gonna need a lot of it. And also if you have fine and thin hair, you guys remember our cuticle stays open, so it's hard, and we don't have a medulla which holds the moistures and stuff. So you're gonna probably end up putting a lot of, just to kind of make sure your hair is getting what it needs, because it will seep out quicker. But anyways, so you're going to avoid frequent shampooing, avoid sulfates, things with alcohol-based products and stuff, okay? Now, oily hair and scalp. Oily hair and scalp characterized by greasy buildup on the scalp and oiling coating on the hair are caused by improper shampooing and overactive sebaceous glands. Oily hair and scalp can be treated by properly washing your hair, well-balanced diet, exercise, regular shampooing, and good personal hygiene. Okay, you guys, so if you have oily hair and scalp, that means that your sebaceous glands are overactive, so you have a lot of sebum oil coming out, and it's clogging your hair follicle. It's clogging it up, so it's not able to you know, start its process over. It's not able to get all of that out and to keep your hair healthy and growing and stuff like that. So your hair just looks oily, lifeless, and limp. So everybody that is natural should not be using non-sulfate shampoos and conditioners. I'm just saying, some need that to get all of that build up out. Okay, also drinking lots of water, and also you want to make sure you exercise, because exercising helps with the blood flow, which ultimately helps you from having the oily hair and scalp, because it keeps the blood flow, which means that it's not going to be a buildup. Because when you get a buildup, it's actually stopping like all of the natural flow of everything that keeps your hair healthy and growing. Okay, just because you have oily hair and scalp does not mean your hair is growing. Okay, so you just guys want to keep all of those key factors in mind. Okay, healthy hair, healthy you. Another thing is, you guys, make sure you keep your ends trimmed regularly. I'm not afraid to trim my ends, because that's just what's going to keep your hair healthy, especially with thin hairs tend to get more straggly and break easier. So I have to keep my ends up. So you want to make sure you have a good pair of shears. Stop using all that extra stuff, okay? You're ruining the hair cuticle and just the makeup of the hair shaft, you guys. So you want to make sure you use good blunt hair shears. And I don't have my shears here, and I don't want to get up and get them, but you're going to make sure that you have your scissors held the right way, okay? Which I'm going to show up here. You're going to look at these hair shears. That little part right here, that's how you're supposed to hold the hair shears. This is not supposed to be where the thumb is, okay? You're supposed to have that so your hand can properly cut your hair, okay? I see a lot of people all over social media holding shears the wrong way. That's how I know they're not knowing what's up, the facts about hair, and they probably didn't learn it professionally. But yeah, you want to make sure you have a good pair of shears.